Hi, this is Julia from the Lashing Room. I am an eyelash educator, lash technician, as well as a medical esthetician, and I want to help you guys build your brand and your business and perfect your skills in lashing. So, no, I don't claim to know more than any other lasher in the industry. There are people way better than I am, but these are all the things that I have learned along the way that I think would be helpful for you guys to grow your business, and maybe you can take some of these tips and maybe not make some of the same mistakes that I have. So in a service-based industry like eyelash extensions, you are going to come across all walks of life, just like really any other business. So you can, you're gonna have your amazing clients, you're gonna have the clients that pop in and out, just seasonally for like weddings, birthdays, that sort of thing. You're gonna have your clients that you meet at the beginning of your career and they're gonna follow you all the way through. And then there are those clients that are problematic. If you're busy, if you have a successful business, you are going to run into this. But here are some of the warning signs of problematic clients that you can look out for so that you can maybe try and wean some of them out and potentially not book them in. Save yourself the headache. Okay, so warning sign number one, when you're having that initial conversation with them, asking, is it classic, hybrid, volume that they like? Have they had lashes before? That sort of thing. Just getting some information so that you can book them in. It is a huge red flag if you are initially talking to them and one of the first things that they say is, I've had my lashes done so many times and I've never been happy. So I was so excited when it came across your page because your lashes are beautiful. You've never been happy? Look, I am always up for a challenge, but when it comes to these sorts of clients who just say that they are never happy with the lashes that they've had in the past, if I have taken them on as a client and, done, in my opinion, what is a beautiful set of lashes, these clients are never happy. What happens if you are having this conversation while you're doing their lashes? Because I am sure that has happened to some of you. You want to have this conversation prior to getting them actually in the door. So when you're consulting with them, when you are booking them in, you ask them this question. Have you had your lashes done before? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? That will open the floodgates for these people to complain if they've ever not liked something in the past. Warning sign number two is they send a ton of pictures prior to your appointment, and they do this a few times. So they'll initially message you booking an appointment and then they'll send a bunch of photos of what they're looking for. Sure, no problem. Photos are great, but obviously it's very heavily dependent on how many natural lashes they have as well as their eye shape. There's so many factors. But then 2 days later, you get another message from them. There's more pictures of what they want their lashes to look like. In the beginning, I always thought like, okay, this person is just very excited to get their lashes done, and that may be the case. But I always find that problem number one and problem number two kind of go hand in hand, and usually these clients end up being a little problematic. I find that these are the clients that send a ton of pictures before. They want you to look at a ton of pictures right before they get on the bed because they're very particular. And then it's also the client that messages you the next day. After they said they were happy, they message you the next day and they're like, yeah, after looking at them, I'm not that happy. There's like this tiny little spot on my left eye that's just not consistent with the right eye, or what have you. These are obviously problems that you can avoid by screening beforehand. With these clients, if you're going to take them on as clients, you really need to educate them before they even get into the bed about why pictures are great for an idea, but it is heavily dependent on a number of things. And you must go over this with them and really try to make them understand. so that one, they're not unhappy, and then two, you are not getting messages the next day about how they want to come in because they're unhappy. Nobody likes that. Number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with number 2. So if they are sending a ton of photos and you notice that they are all very, very dense volume lashes, you want to make sure you're asking that person what kind of natural lashes they have. So if they're long, if they are short, if they are thick, if they are thin, if they are healthy, when was the last time they had extensions? You need to be asking these questions because that's going to give you a better idea if they are an ideal candidate for that style of lashes. You can even ask them to take a picture of their lash line, which sometimes it doesn't work out because that's kind of like an awkward thing to do. But if you have a client that has very, very thin lashes, they're not going to be able to accommodate those pictures. And you need to set them up to have realistic expectations. If you think that this client just doesn't understand, and even though you're showing them that they have very thin, short lashes and they can't accommodate that, if they are still adamant that they can support these lashes because their last lash tech did that. So in these situations, it's always very awkward and uncomfortable, but you might want to tell that client that you are just not the right fit for each other and you don't want to provide a service to her that she's going to be unhappy with, because that's just going to be a waste of her time and money. It's kind of a nice, polite way of letting her down, because you're saying like you don't want to waste her time, you don't want to waste her hard-earned money on something she's not going to be happy with, and then you don't feel pressured into providing a service that you know is going to be extremely unhealthy for their lashes, or a service that isn't going to look nothing like those pictures. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe, and I will be putting out new lash content all the time. Bye.